110 plus 40, which will give you 150, and then you subtract 180 minus 150, which will give you 30. Okay, so because angles in a triangle add up to 180, so first you add these two and then you subtract from 180, you get 30 for here. And then the next thing you do is to find this angle here, add 30 plus 110, so 30 plus 110, which will give you 140, okay? It will give you 140, and then you subtract from 180, you say 180 minus 140, which is going to give you 40. So here you have 40. Okay, so now that we have our two triangles, we are now going to consider the conditions of congruency. Conditions of congruency. So we have AB is equal to PQ. So AB, the side AB is equal to PQ, which is 6 centimeters. Both of them are 6, 6. Okay? And then we are going to pick only two angles that are the same there. So the angle A is equal to angle P. So the angle A is 30, P is 30. Then the other one is angle B here is equal to angle Q. Okay, so here's what we have now. The first one, we are looking at the sides, so we have side. And then here we are looking at the angles that are the same, so we have angle, angle. So one of the conditions for congruence says that you should have angle, angle, side. I think it was number, we have it on number 3. We have it on number 3. So therefore, this condition is fulfilled. Therefore, triangle, okay, you can write triangle like this. Triangle ABC and triangle PQR are congruent. Okay, so all you do is just look for the angles that are the same there, just two of them, and the sides that are the same. Okay, if there are no sides that are the same, just look at the angles. If all of them are equal, all the angles are equal, then the two triangles are congruent. Okay, let's go to our last example now on congruency. Our last example on congruence. Okay, so here's our last example on congruence. Our last example on congruence. Okay, so the last example that we have on congruence, number 2, diagram below is a parallelogram. Okay, so the diagram below is a parallelogram. So here is our parallelogram. Okay, here is our parallelogram. Okay, and then from here, okay, bending a bit there, but it's supposed to be a straight line. Okay, so straight line is there, X. Then this one and this one here. Then we have A. Okay, goes up to there. Then we have L, M, N, and P here. So the question says state any three pairs of congruent triangles. State any 3 pairs of congruent triangles in this diagram here. State any 3 pairs of congruent triangles. Okay, so remember the conditions for congruency. Then you will be able to tell which triangles are congruent. Okay, there are so many of them in this question, but the question says just state 3. Just state 3 that are congruent. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so this is a parallelogram. This is a parallelogram. And there are so many triangles in this parallelogram. So many of them. You have LXP, it's a triangle. MXN is a triangle. NXP, LXM, There are so many of them. So we are just going to state 3, and then I'll state 3 and give reasons why we have chosen those 3. So the first pair that we have, the first answer that we have here for the triangles is the triangle MXN is congruent. Okay, this is how we write it with these 3. Congruent. So that one is congruent to LXP. Okay, LXP. So this triangle here, this one, and this one here. So those are congruent because number 1, just to give a few examples, number 1, here, this angle is equal to this one. Okay, those 2 angles are equal. When we are doing angles, we actually found that when there's an X that has been made, the 2 opposite angles are actually equal. So we have a pair of angles that are equal. And then not only that, we also know, because it's a parallelogram, we know that MN and LP have equal length. So the side is the same. We have one side that is the same. And then we can also tell the last angle, the other angles that are equal. This angle here, NLP, this one, is equal to this one here. Okay? Is equal to MNL. So this angle here is equal to this one. The reason is simple. It's because when you have parallel lines, and then you make a Z like this, alternating angles, this angle is equal to this one here. And so this is what has happened here. Parallel lines, MN and LP are parallel. So you have this Z that has been made here. So this angle is equal to that angle there. So you have angle. And one of the conditions for congruence says angle, side. So that's why MXN and LXP are congruent. So let's go to the other pair. The question says state 3 pairs. There are so many answers in this question. So the next one is just by looking the 2 triangles that we've not shaded, these 2. They are also congruent. Okay, so number 2, we are saying we also have MXL and NXP. Okay, number 3, the last one, number 3, the big triangle, LMN, this one, LMN, and this other big one here, LNP, that big thing. Okay, so there are so many of them. We have these 2 here, these 2, the reasons are just the same for all of them. We have MXN and LXP, we have these 2 here, and then we can also choose others. There are others that are also congruent here, which we can choose. And we can give the same reasons, but otherwise, the question says state any 3 pairs, and these are pairs because the first pair is this one. Pair means 2. So these 2, then we have these 2, so 1, 2, 3, and so this marks the end of our lesson on similarity and congruency. Thank you very much.